Back in July of 2020, I was called by the owner of this house because she was having trouble with her dogwood tree, which had been declining for several years. We both identified the fact that it did get a little too much sun for optimal health, and it looked burned, and it hadn't put on any new growth in a few years and appeared to be declining. So we identified a revival protocol, which we'll tell you about in this video, and we'll check in on the progress, and I hope teach you how to revive a dogwood tree or any tree, and also plants in general. If you like the idea of maximizing the health of plants, whether they're sick or not so sick, and maximizing their production, if it's vegetables or fruit trees, if you like that idea of doing it through soil-based gardening, then subscribe to this channel. That's what we're all about here. I'm John Valentino, president of John and Bob's Corporation. I'm a landscape architect and a landscape contractor and a general engineering contractor. I'm here with my assistant Chip Valentino, who this week took on a little different role. He was editing the videos that we had posted for accuracy, and he came upon what he thought was an error. I'm not so sure it was an error, but we're going to give him the benefit of the doubt here. And he was concerned that last week we inferred a Watsonia was an amaryllis. So this is a Watsonia. It was blooming beautifully here in this video that we posted last week. And this is an amaryllis. This garden has some spectacular amaryllis in the ground, which is a little bit unusual in our area to grow amaryllis. The owner was telling me this year they performed better than others and better than other years, and we think that's because that we maximize the health of the soil. And that's what we've been doing for many years now, is making it so that unusual plants will grow in unusual places and thrive. If you've always wanted to grow something that is a little hard to grow in your area. Many people like to compare our recommended protocol with what you would do for humans. And as you know, the gut and the health of your gut is important, and the use of probiotics and prebiotics is preeminent in that effort to create a healthy being. And that's the case in soil. And so at the very foundation of our approach to reviving this dogwood or any tree, you can check back on prior videos where we have revived trees in the past. We did a African sumac, which is Rhus lancea, at our Fresno Chaffee Zoo. Everyone thought it was dead, and we went in with probiotics and prebiotics. In other words, soil life, food for life, attractants for life, and just build that soil and nutrients that are in these probiotics and prebiotics. So the idea is maximum health through these organic products that can't over-fertilize anything because they don't break down and dissolve and go through the soil profile. They break down very slowly, they're organic, they feed a maximum amount of nutrients, which is what you want to do to a sick plant, like this sick dogwood or that sick African sumac. And by then also doing it through the soil, all the enzymes and soil life is focused on the health of that tree. So that's exactly the approach we took here. The probiotics and the prebiotics were in the form of our products. So we used Blend, which is a mix of optimize, maximize, nourish-biosol. So that's dried mycelium, which is food for microbes. That's a concentrated organic matter. That's a concentrated compost. And ancient lava deposits, which have all kinds of minerals. Those are all in these products. We're putting them right around the root ball of this plant so that we maximize everything about the health of the soil and everything about the health of the tree. We did that by doing an application about every 45 days of approximately 6 pounds of our blend, just topically applied. Then we followed that up with about 8 ounces of Penetrate liquid biotiller right over the blend. And that's the application we did every 45 days. Those are the probiotics and the prebiotics. And then we also, twice, I think, since July, did a healthy application of about 6 pounds of nourish-biosol. So we're kind of hitting it from all directions, maximizing the health of the soil, maximizing the food that can go to the plant, doing it in a gentle, slow way that can't burn anything. That's our formula for reviving any plant, any tree, whether it be the African sumac that we did previously or this Cornus florida, which is a dogwood tree. After the probiotics and the prebiotics, the rest of the great recipe for reviving plants or trees is to mulch it with some kind of mulch. In this case, on the dogwood, donor used a very fine, more of a forest humus. It's very attractive, and that works fine. You could use something coarser. On our African sumac, you'll see it was a coarse shredded cedar. Lots of different kinds of wood-based material. A nice quality compost would work. You could even use a little thin layer of earthworm castings and a mulch. That would be really powerful. So we mulch over the top of the probiotics and prebiotics, and then we water it properly. And that's really key, that you water it. Water is what activates it. The neat thing about these products is, unlike synthetic fertilizer, you don't need to water it right away. It's not going to burn anything. It could sit there without water for 3 months if you want, not going to do any damage. But if you want it to work and you want your plant to have the right amount of moisture, at some point you have to water it. And when you water it, that's what activates the products. That's what allows them to begin to break down, move through the soil profile, the roots to have access to the actual nutrients, and the soil to have access to all of the prebiotics and probiotics, so that this soil can change into some very lively medium full of complex life. I have a feeling you have sick plants, or many of you do, because I get a lot of questions about sick plants, or questions about something that just never bloomed or never produced an orange or never produced something. And those are all interesting questions, and I pose to you that they're all soil-based solutions. Put it in the comments if you're interested in us weighing in on your sick plants or how to revive anything in your garden. Let us know in the comments below. When we look at what this dogwood looked like back in July of 2020, we can see that it was in the need of some pruning. And what sometimes isn't fully appreciated is how invigorating pruning can be. Pruning is a big part of this process of reviving trees and making them look brand new and creating something new and alive and vibrant. In this case, we wanted to wait. It was hot then. We didn't want to prune it because it's probably going to be more subject to sunburn if we prune it, and we already knew this tree was getting too much sun. So we waited until real early spring, and here you can see us pruning. We took out all the dead wood just as the tree was starting to sprout, and we could see where we had dead wood and where we had good live wood. So we had already started our applications. We did one in July, and then every 45 days or so we did another one. We did that right through the winter. And then in the early spring, we did this pruning, and that's a big part of all this new growth you see everywhere. So we took out all the dead wood, anything that was broken, anything that was oddly shaped. We just cut it out, and here is what we're have right now, which is a tree that's really emerging. It has new growth all along the trunk. It hadn't had this kind of new growth for quite a few years. So we're excited about its prospects. I think next spring it's going to have a really good bloom. This spring its bloom was just so-so, not spectacular. But we need a bunch more vegetative growth that is starting to occur, and you see it right here. So it's on the comeback trail. Especially with the dogwood, patience is needed because it's a little bit of a delicate tree, particularly in our area where our summers are 100 degrees and more, and then we've got it in a spot here where it gets more direct sun in the summer than we would like. So it's not like the African sumac, which once we made it healthy just sprouted like crazy. This is a more gentle, gradual comeback, which you can see. And when it has new growth, it's slow to emerge and slow to develop. And you can see that we've got new growth everywhere. It's really healthy, but you need some patience. And every month it's going to look a little better. I think next spring it's going to look fantastic. But the other thing that's important with our patience is continuing to feed it with our probiotics and prebiotics and maximum nutrients, and make sure the watering stays about right. The owner brought up today a good idea that maybe we should use a soil probe on it to make sure we're getting water down to where we need it. A couple weeks ago, it looked like when we had our first hot day that it needed a little more water. So we're watching it carefully for right amount of moisture, probably use a soil probe to check that. And so we're going to continue to do that probably every 45 days, which normally we would only do it once or twice a year. But because it's on the comeback trail here, we'll accelerate those applications in terms of timing to about every 45 to 60 days. And we have every reason to believe this comeback will continue. So if you're interested in this soil-based approach to gardening, where we think we can fix almost any pest and disease problems by fixing your soil, if that intrigues you, go to our website at johnandbobs.com. We have a lot of very convenient, economical products there that don't require big piles of anything and don't require them to be your hobby. It's a simple, easy way to address the most important part of gardening, which is the health of your soil. If this video was interesting to you, check back our prior video where we started this process. In about July of 2020, we showed you exactly the condition of this Cornus florida dogwood tree, and we explained what was wrong with it and what we're going to try to correct. And now you can follow it through to this video and see the kind of progress we've made by focusing on the soil. Check it out.